This song that I learned from Frank Hamilton on that trip in North Carolina back in 1953. We were going all around North Carolina visiting different relatives and friends of Guy's. Guy's family came from back there. And the first place we went to was on the coast of North Carolina, a little town called Messick, right on Albemarle Sound. And we arrived there in the evening and found Guy's uncle. I can't remember what his name was, but he was a relative of the Carey family. And he made us a nice supper. And we went to sleep right after that. I think we had pork chops, yeah, and some all southern delicacies like I'd never had before, like hush puppies and some great other trimmings. And in the morning, one of the neighbors had a shrimp boat, and they were just getting ready to go out shrimping, and they stopped by Uncle Carawan's dock and we went out and said hello, and they invited us to come out with them, a father and a son, in a rather small shrimp boat. It was only about 26 feet long, and the boy was steering barefoot, had his foot on the wheel, and he seemed like he was asleep most of the time, but he never went off course and never ran aground or anything. He kept her right in the channel all the way out into deep water. And we caught about 1 million shrimps that day. Brought them back and had another great supper. And it started raining. And we were out on the back porch admiring this big lightning and thunderstorm. And Frank got out his guitar, Frank Hamilton. And he played this song. It's called the South Coast Ballad. And it was a wonderful song, and it was very, very dramatic, and I'd never heard anything like it before. So next morning, we were heading west. We said goodbye to Uncle Carawan. We got in the car. It was an old Army officer's Dodge car. We hand-painted blue. Didn't have the Army paint job anymore. And we drove all over the South in that car. Ended up going down to New Orleans. Well, we were heading for the western mountains of the state of North Carolina, and Frank's in the back seat practicing the banjo. He was always practicing the banjo because he couldn't drive. He didn't have a driver's license. And I'm up front there with Guy, keeping him company. And I remembered that song that he sang the night before on the porch in the rain and the lightning and the thunder. I said, hey, what was that song, Guy, that you, Frank, you played last night? He said, that was the South Coast. Yeah, that's it, South Coast. Would you play that? No, he couldn't play it. And he wouldn't play it, and he didn't play it until about 3 days later when it rained again. I guess he just had to be in the mood. By this time, we were way out in the Smoky Mountains and hearing all kinds of original hillbilly music. Yeah. And this is that song that he sang. It's called the South Coast Ballad. It was written by a California woman, Lillian Boss Ross. She lived up in Big Sur, and that's where this story takes place. My name is Lonjano de Castro. My father was a Spanish grandee. wife in a card game. To hell with those lords or the sea. Well, the South Coast is a wild coast and lonely. You might win in a game at home. Lion still rules the barranca. And a man there is always alone. In my youth, I had a Monterey homestead. Fields, creeks, mountains, all mine. And I built me a snug little shanty. I roofed, floored it with pine. I sat in a card game at Colon. Played there with an hombre named Juan. Left to right, taking his money. Staked off against his daughter, Dawn. Dawn, I picked up the ace. I had won her. My heart, which was down at my feet, jumped up to my throat in a hurry. Like a young summer's day, she was sweet. He opened the door to the kitchen. Called the girl in with a curse. Take her. God damn you, you won her. She's yours now for better or worse. Her arms had to tighten around me. As we rode up the hills from the south, not a word did I get from her that day, nor a kiss for her pretty red mouth. We soon reached the valley at twilight. Stars twinkled out on the coast. She soon loved the valley and the orchard. But I knew that she loved me the most. That night, I got hurt in a landslide. Crushed hip and twice broken bone. She saddled her pony like lightning and rode off for a doctor at Jolon. Lion screamed in the barranca. Bucky bolted and fell on the slide. My young wife lay dead in the moonlight. My heart heart died that night with my bride. We carried her back to the orchard. We buried her there. The cabin still stands on the hillside, the door swinging loose in the wind. But the South Coast is a wild coast and lonely. You might win at a game at Cologne, but a man there is always alone. The South Coast.